Wow, this is amazing. I have goosebumps all over my body. They performed really great. And my name is Cecilia Lazat. I'm the owner of Suya Joint All African Cuisine. I don't know. I'm here mumbling, but this is just like to see the faces of everybody as they're performing. People are dancing, and this is what it's all about. We're trying to showcase the African culture in terms of the food, the dance, oh wow, the beautiful fabric, everything that we do in Africa. So this could not happen in a better timing. I sat with some of my employees talking to them about how 2017 is when we're gonna, yes, incorporate the African entertainment, the nightlife, and so much more. And then for me to get a phone call from Joshua to say, this has passed, this is exciting. And so, yes, Suya Joint is going to be here to showcase all that Africa has to offer. And I invite everybody at the end of this. We have a little bit of light lunch that we're going to serve. Please, please, please taste the food, spread the word. We're here. And it was with great honor to introduce the Mayor of Boston, Mayor Marty Walsh. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I want to first of all thank Cecilia and thank you for letting us use your restaurant today to sign this ordinance. I also want to welcome City Council Michelle Wu, and I want to ask the council to come up here with me because we have, before we get into the ordinance, we have a little bit of not a surprise, but kind of a surprise. I also want to thank Buddy Christopher, Chief of Inspectional Services that's here with us today. Thank you. Julie Barrows, Chief of Arts and Culture in the City of Boston. We have D&D and a whole bunch of different folks from Main Streets and Department of Neighborhood Development and everywhere. So I want to thank you all for being here. Before I get into signing the ordinance and talking about it, we did some things this year with our inspectional services where we worked really hard to think about a grading system in the City of Boston, and we're working to make sure our restaurants are great restaurants and that people know they're great restaurants. And we kicked off that ordinance a few months ago, and we were able to present the first letter grade to Stash's Pizza up on Blue Hill and Columbia. And this restaurant had already been inspected, so it's not up for a grade until we get re-inspected later on down the road. But because it's a special day, I just want to let you know that Suya Joint has an A.
This is amazing. Surprise!
Got it?
Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Now we got to keep up the work.
No pressure.
Yeah.
You got it? All right.
You got it?
We got plenty. We'll get the videos.
No.
My mother would have been proud if I brought home an A before Christmas. That didn't happen. But I want to thank everyone for being here today. I want to thank the community, the residents of this great neighborhood. I want to thank the great entertainment that we have, the beautiful band, the beautiful music that's being played here today. The reason why we chose this restaurant is because when we talked about, when City Council Michelle Wu actually presented this ordinance in front of the City Council and then spoke to us about it, it's about the neighborhoods. It's about the venues that don't get all the publicity. It's about the venues that don't have the ability, in some cases, to really do what happens in the Seaport and the Fenway area and those areas. And how do we get an opportunity to allow our local talent an opportunity to perform and play and not have to worry about the bureaucracy of what's going on? So starting January 1st, once we sign this ordinance, the registered businesses in the commercial districts and will be able to host live acoustic performances without getting an entertainment license from the City of Boston. This is great for our local businesses. It's great for I like this. You're with me the rest of the day. When I give an interview to the press later on, I need a little bit of that, all right? But this is great for our local businesses. It's certainly great for our local artists. It's also great for the Boston community as a whole. We tried this as a pilot program over the summer, and it was a huge success. And And I'm grateful to all the business owners, all the artists. I'm grateful for the Boston City Council who made this possible. We launched our first pilot program back in May of 2015. The response was tremendous. We had 2 more short-term pilot programs that year, Christmas time. It helped more than 150 local businesses, and they hosted over 250 local musicians all across our city. And that's something that's important. We learned from this pilot program. We also looked at expanding this pilot program, and local businesses owners told us that the foot traffic was great in their business. It brought in more customers, more clients, and really helps your local businesses. And as Cecile talked about, 2017, it's going into the next launch of this great restaurant. This is going to help this business here. So the business doesn't have to go through a whole bunch of bureaucracy and red tape and getting the right permits for the entertainment. You'll be able to bring acoustics right here in this very place. So I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank the City of Boston and the offices that are responsible for the small business plan. I want to thank the businesses. I want to thank Julie and the Cabinet on Arts and Culture for Boston Creates. It's our first citywide plan in probably ever in the City of Boston, really looking at the different culture and the diversity of our city, and how do we use that diversity as a strength, rather than always talking about diversity as on a negative side, and that we're having challenges in our neighborhoods. And let's use it as a strength. Let's really show people the diversity of our city, and not just by the color of our skin, but by what we do, who we are as a people, our cultures from our countries. That's something that's really important. It's great to be here too, because for me personally, right across the street, Hibernian Hall, when my family came from Ireland, they were able to express themselves through their music, Irish music, in that hall across the street. And it shows you that this neighborhood really does have a tremendous amount of richness of culture and keeping that forward. So I want to thank you all for being here. I want to just make a special thanks, and really, I'm the mayor and I get an opportunity to sign this ordinance, but it's really the woman to my right, Michelle Wu, who spearheaded this effort, who came to me with this idea back right in the beginning, actually before she was the president of the council, but after she became the president of the council. One of our first meetings was in January, right after she got elected, and she talked about some of her agenda items, and one of them was acoustics on Main, saying that we'd really love to be able to change how we do business in the City of Boston. And when I got sworn in as mayor of the city, actually it was 2016. Right, the beginning of this year. I'm thinking, I'm running you way ahead. When I got sworn in as mayor and we got together with the council in the very beginning, we said, let's do business differently in the City of Boston. And when Michelle Wu got elected the president of the council, she said, let's continue that. Let's take a step further and go into our neighborhoods and think about how we can really enhance our business and give them opportunities. And she spearheaded this effort. I want to thank her for her great work. I want to thank the city council that voted on this effort as well. And they all got behind it, and they were excited about it. I think a lot of them would be here today, but they're probably out finishing last-minute shopping like I should be doing. But without further ado, the president of the Boston City Council, President Michelle Wu.
Great. Thank you so much, Mayor. I am so proud to be here today representing all of my colleagues on the City Council to say thank you. Thank you to Suya Joint. Thank you to our artists and performers today. And thank you especially to Mayor Walsh and the administration. This ordinance truly represents the best of city government. It involved collaboration over a long time of so many different departments that the mayor outlined, departments that came together time and again to really talk about an idea and an experiment that we would be embarking on. How do we think about doing things a little differently so that we're truly opening up opportunity and bringing different communities together across our city? So that is what the council and the administration have really been focusing on. I think there's no better way to bring people together than over food, music, and culture. So I'm thrilled and can't wait to see this happening all year, all across the city. Thank you once again to our artists. King Mas, would you like to introduce, make sure everybody gets introduced? Thank you. Wonderful. Well, thank you again so much. And again, it is a pleasure and a privilege to serve in City Hall and to be thinking about our neighborhoods and how we can keep working together to strengthen Boston every single day.
Thank you. Now we're going to sign one sheet.
Well, it's Acoustic's on me. My voice is loud enough. So my name is King Mas. I want to give thanks to all who have come out, to Councilwoman Wu, Mayor Walsh, of course Cecilia, maximum respect. And to all these brothers here, drumming and Father, many of us, we've all frequented this place for quite some time, and it's such a central part of this community. I've known Cecilia from before she was even located here. She actually started off over in Randolph. Rosendale, right, Rosendale. And that was my regular spot, and seeing her expand into this just a manifestation of all the work she's put in over all of the years. And she's the queen. She's the queen of the kitchen. She's the queen of African cuisine in Boston. So this one is a special dedication to my African queen.
The sun lights up light up my life. The only one I've ever seen with a smile so bright.
Sing it if you know it.
Just yesterday, she came around my way, changed the whole scenery. Astonishing beauty, could not make the brother sing. The ordinary thing, the supernatural thing. Brighter than the moon, brighter than the stars. Love you just the way you are, and you are my African queen. Girl of my dreams, you take me when I wanna sing, and you make my heart ting-a-ling-a-ling. You are my African queen. Girl of my dreams, you remind me of a thing, and that is the African beauty.
When we talk of the African woman as supernatural being, I have to make a special dedication to an angel on earth, Yeah.
Earth angel, will you be mine? My darling dear, I will love you all the time. I'm just a fool, yes, a fool
law right now, so let me sign it so we don't get in trouble. Walk. Well, listen, thank you, everybody. This is an exciting day, so I appreciate it. And it's the law, so congratulations.